largest in terms of student population university in West Africa, second to UNISA. So we are approaching close to 500,000 students spread across the country. So that wouldn't have been possible if this were to be, the admission process was to be conducted manually or using papers. So this has been possible. And also looking at even our ERP system, where for graduation at the 2022 convocation, we graduated about 28,000 students across the country. So all departments are able to, those that have met criteria, graduation criteria, the system is able to pull out those that are qualified. So with that, it's not a challenge. So the issue of corruption, of knowing who, meeting exam officers, trying to locate them is out of it. So everything is computerized, and that, of course, is a good step in the right direction in moving towards a transparent and system. Now, also during the COVID-19 pandemic, while other universities were struggling, students were sent back. Our university, our students were from the comfort of their homes, undergoing their normal studies, and even virtual examinations were conducted. So we never experienced any hitch. We never had any halt. We went on, and the academic calendar was maintained. And then if you also look at the facilitation, like I mentioned earlier, looking at our student population of over 200 active students almost in every session. So we have online facilitation classes that are going on, and we have members of the academia from various conventional universities going on. So this is a typical example of going in. And we, just as the minister said, we encourage other organizations to do so, because it promotes, it's an efficient system, promotes transparency, and of course, accountability. Thank you.
Thank you so much, HOD at National Open University. Now we will want Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim Jega to also speak about his experience on e-governance. But before he speaks, I would like to tell the whole house that he just flew in this morning from the United Kingdom just for this program. Please, let's put our hands together for him and for taking us so seriously. So, from your own perspective, what can you say about e-government, transparency, and accountability as the theme for this year?
Thank you very much for having me. Most importantly, technology, we've seen the evolution of technology. We've seen the kind of advantages technology has done in a very short time. Thank God for COVID. It accelerated the adoption of technology. And also, we've seen how the government of today has really done a lot in terms of utilizing technology to optimize and increase efficiency in its processes. The Honorable Minister has set the tone, which he has clearly defined some of the pain points and some of the value proposition the government has done in terms of setting the foundation and creating the enabling environment for this implementation of e-government. When you talk about E, it's about digitization, it's about automation. It creates efficiency, it brings transparency, it creates trust. It also brings more productivity and optimizes in terms of results, such as things around revenue. When you automate automate processes. You make sure that you remove bottlenecks, you remove third party. The system defines it from point of origin to point of location, that's access to where you can be able to retrieve that. For me, we've gone beyond digitization in terms of technology. We now move into the blockchain space, and this has really been very effective in different areas. When we talk about student academic registration, what Prof was saying, is about, we've seen a lot of universities now, from the point of application of that process, you don't interface with anybody. You go in at the comfort of your desk to do that, apply for the school you're going to, and if you're offered admission, you receive notification via electronically, and you could be able to respond on that perspective. That JAM has done that, WAEC has done that. Every institutions have been able to scale up their processes in that regard. So secondly, in terms of operations, we've seen how a lot of things from passports, from payment of vehicle registrations, to issues around payment of land titles and payment of duties, everything has been automated. This has really created a lot of productivity and brought efficiency, because at the comfort of your desk, you could sit down comfortably, apply or renew your license, apply for your passport, apply for your visas, and you get them approved at the quickest time. So for me, I can say this progress has really taken us to the next stage. But most importantly, we have seen disruptions happening in the likes of blockchain, AI, big data, and the likes of it. So what are we doing in terms of tapping into that space? Today, what the minister was saying, that there's going to be a graduation ceremony of 30,000 blockchain developers. This is a very big news for Africa. Globally, we've never seen a government that has adopted, that has embraced new technology. Some government are scared of it. Because I'm speaking about this because I'm a very strong advocate of blockchain. I've been pushing and advocating for blockchain right from 2017. And I've been telling governments and businesses they need to transition their data from traditional data to blockchain. Because blockchain, when you talk about trust, that's blockchain. When you talk about transparency, that's blockchain. When you talk about efficiency, that's blockchain. You can track everything from every process, from the point of location to point of destination. So I want to commend a lot of government organizations to see the need for adopting electronically. Those who are still in the analog stage should wake up and see the need for them to embrace technology. It's not going to kick you out of business, but it's going to enhance and improve your productivity. It's going to make you bring in results as citizen because of data. When you have classified data, then you can call the data, ask the data. Data will give you feedback, will give you reports, will give you every information you want based on the segmentation. So it's important governments understand the need for them to transition and automate their processes, as well as businesses. I'm happy with the needs of the government institution, which is really doing that, because my company works closely with Base University in Nigeria, because it's a private university. It's one of the fast-growing universities in terms of automating their processes. I don't know much about other government institutions, so I can actually speak for them.
All right. Thank you so much, Manager. Now I go to Dr. Obi, the MD CEO, Crown Interactive. We want to hear from you. How have you been managing from your own space into what we have and where we project to be, and particularly with so much issue of what we call the internet governance